It's a new week and we're at Home Depot. Let's see what they got. So the first thing I noticed is that they have these shrubs from Southern Living Plant Collection that look like what I always see on HortTube, which is Nandina. And looking at the tag, it says that it's called Heavenly Bamboo, called Obsession. I never knew Nandina to be associated with bamboo, so that's kind of interesting. I'm gonna look into that a little bit more. But also, Nandina has never been really popular in my Zone 6B. It's something I mostly see in Midwest and Southern gardens, really. But it blooms midsummer. It needs 18 to 24 inch spacing, and it says it's hardy to -10 degrees. And it just looks like a really nice shrub. It has a very similar texture to, say, a Weigela. Yeah. Weigela, actually, I meant to say it has a very similar leaf habit to what I would see on a Spirea. More so than a Weigela. But this fiery red color looks really, really cool, and I'm sure would offer a lot of interest. It looks like the size gets 24 to 48 inches tall. And these are 3 gallons and they're $29.98. Some new roses this week. This one's called Soul Desire, a Floribunda rose. These are hybrid tea roses. They are 3 gallon for $26.98, and it's really sunny, but they have a really eye-catching yellow bloom. And the bloom looks a little bit smaller, like what's typical with a tea rose. Some Japanese maple. It's just called Red Select. So these are like some kind of seedling. I'm very familiar with Japanese maples. They're one of my favorite trees. But these here just look like a lace leaf type Japanese maple. According to the picture, it has a weeping habit, and you can tell by the branches that they are kind of arching. The new growth looks red, but it does look to go green. And let's check out the tag, because sometimes on the tag they will, on the sticker that they put on the can, it will say the type of Japanese maple. In this case, it just says Dissectum Red, Acer Dissectum Red, and these are $69.98. These shrubs here are rock stars. They're actually called Blue Star, but they are an amazing landscape shrub. This one here is a 1 gallon container for $14.98, and these stay nice and low growing and compact. I've had one in my garden for 9 years, and it is about 3 by 4, which is exactly what these measurements read, 36 to 48 inches tall and wide. And they have a very unique blue color, which is beautiful for an evergreen. Really pretty, really great evergreen shrub. They have lots more roses. These are red. It's called Miracle OT Hudson, 3 gallon size for $26.98. Some of them are pretty spent, but there is a lot of new blooms, a lot of buds on these. They also have these pink ones. It's like a mauvey pink, and it's called Intrigue. They have large containers, 3 gallon containers of this feather reed grass, Carl Forrester. This is my favorite grass. This one here, this is an ornamental grass, is $24.98 for the 3 gallon size. And I'll show you the specs on this one. I have about 6 of these in my garden now. They get to be about 6 feet tall and about 3 feet wide. So they're a nice, compact, tidy, ornamental grass. They just stay green, and then they send out these wheat-colored plumes. These are really interesting roses. They're called Sunblaze, and they're a very petite rose. They're by Star Roses. This one's called Autumn Sunblaze, and this really bright orange mini bloom. These are 3-gallon size for $26.98. These hydrangeas caught my eye from across the parking lot. These proven winners, they almost look like a lace cap type hydrangea. Really beautiful. Nice pink. And these are called Let's Dance Can Do Reblooming Mountain Hydrangea. So mountain hydrangeas are lace cap hydrangeas. Really pretty. And these are reblooming, and they get 3 to 4 tall and 3 wide. So nice compact size for the landscape. These are $29.98 and they're a 2-gallon size. I have a bunch new proven winners shrubs in stock, and they have this Quick Fire Fab, which is an improved variety of the popular Quick Fire Hydrangea. This is a panicle type hydrangea, and these are the types of hydrangeas that bloom on new wood, so you can cut them down, you know, pretty aggressively down to the bottom, and they will still bloom for you because they bloom on new wood. So here we have the dimensions on this one. It's hardy in zones 3 through 8, and it gets 6 to 8 tall and 5 to 6 wide. The Quick Fire Fab is known to have stronger stems and brighter blooms than the traditional Quick Fire. These are, let's see how much they are. They are $29.98, and this is a 2-gallon container. There is no blooms on this one yet. And here's something I've been noticing in the Proven Winners containers here at the Home Depot. They have these tags that read decked out, easy care planter. What this means is that these are shrubs that you can grow in a container. But they're including these tags, but not necessarily the tag that has the name of the plant. So this one here I can tell is a smooth hydrangea. But if I want to know what variety it is, just look for the tag. So in this case, this is an hydrangea, an arborescens type hydrangea. It's Invincibelle Ruby, and it's $29.98, and this is a 2-gallon size. And these have really beautiful, these are the like the old-fashioned Annabelle type, but this Invincibelle Ruby is a pink versus the white. And I wish I could read the specs on this one for you, but unfortunately, like I said, it just has this tag on it. So it doesn't tell me the specifics for this particular plant. But if I had to guess, this is going to be along that 6 to 8 foot tall and wide, because the Mauvette is the dwarf version of this Invincibelle Ruby. They have these large containers of perennials. This one happens to be coneflower, and it's called Sombrero Sangrita. And it looks like a cayenne spirit, 24 to 36 inches tall and wide. And it's $14.98, and it looks like a 3-gallon size. They also have some delphiniums. This one looks like it's on its way out, but that one still has a really good looking bloom stalk. Here's the variety, Del Genius, and it's 12 to 24 tall and wide. And these say $14.98, but here's a what looks to be a sale tag. So they're now $11.88, which not bad for that good sized container. And here they have some bee balm, and I could actually smell this. Bee balm smells amazing. This one's a really pretty magenta color. The variety is called Balmy Purple, and it's 30 to 48 inches tall and wide. So a nice tall variety of bee balm. Okay, so they have some of this Proven Winners Primo Wild Rose Heuchera. This actually happens to be my favorite heuchera. The only issue I have with this is that they're selling them in these really big containers. So they're number 3 containers at $24.98, and I would much rather them sell them at 1-gallon size for maybe, you know, a $10 price point, so I can buy 2 to 3 and not have to worry about dividing them, because I just feel like this is a little bit too expensive for a perennial, and they don't really look like they're great candidates for dividing because the plant is already really big and kind of grown, so it would look really sad. So this is the one problem I would have with this large container for the $24.98. But this is a really great heuchera. The variety is awesome. It's 8 to 10 inches high, and it needs about a 26-inch spacing. And here it is. It's got a really beautiful, like almost like a plum purple color. Just really, really pretty. It almost has a little bit of a silver sheen in some lighting. It's a good one. Just don't love the size container and the price point. Some oriental lilies. This one's called Sunny Keys. It's a 3-gallon container for $19.98. Looks like it's a really hot pink red color. Lots of garden phlox, again in the larger containers. I've been seeing that a lot more. Some gardeners may like that because it is instant impact. In my personal opinion, I rather start with a smaller container so that it would be more affordable, and as it grows I can divide it and put it where I want it in my garden. So I hope that they bring back more of the smaller containers soon. They still have a good mix, but I'm seeing a lot more of them trying to sell these larger containers at this higher price point. So here is some daisies. These are 3-gallon for $19.98. Like, I personally think $20 for daisies is kind of crazy. Some yarrow or achillea. Really pretty shade of pink. Again in a 3-gallon for $19.98. And they have some salvia that looks like it needs to be pruned. Here's a different variety of lamb's ear. This one almost looked like a hyssop to me. It's a tall purple variety. And here is the tag on this one. It's called lamb's ear, and it's really tall. Let's look for another one. The price is covering the dimensions on that one. So it gets 18 to 20 inches tall and wide, and these containers are $8.98. This is a really pretty hyssop. It's called Morello. It's 12 to 36 inches tall and wide, and it's got this really pretty kind of bright mauve color. And these are $8.98 1-gallon perennials. This, I feel like, is a fair size and price point. But that's just my opinion. I do understand that there is a place for those larger containers. If you know, again, if you're wanting that instant impact, you know, you'll get it. Some Gara. Gara is really pretty. For some reason, it doesn't really come back for me too successfully. It could be my soil, it could be something I'm doing. But in my zone, it doesn't always, like I said, it's not always hardy for myself. It's this variety is called Bellezza, and it is, let's see, the size is 12 to 18 inches tall and wide. It's $8.98. Here is some gorgeous delphinium. Really beautiful. These come in these pretty, you know, white pots, plastic pots. They're considered decorative, and they're $19.98. This is a really pretty hyssop. This one's called Sunrise Orange, and it gets 24 to 36 inches tall and wide, and it's $8.98. And check out the color on these. It's like orange and mauve. Beautiful. They're hanging out here under the hanging baskets to get some shade. Such gorgeous fluffy plumes. Let's check out the type. This one's called False Spirea Unique Carmine, and it's a really pretty rose colored. A Stilby. They're by the Vigoro brand. They're 1 gallon for $10.98. And this is the first time I've seen this type here. This is a Geranium Boom Chocolata by Proven Winners. I saw this one last at Lowe's, and I had documented it in that shop along video. This one gets to be 24 to 26 inches high, and it's got a really pretty kind of unique structure. It's a lot taller than most of the geraniums that I've known, and the foliage has almost like a rim of a darker color, like a little bit of a red. But they are really pretty, like a lavender ice blue color. Now it's coming up a little bit more purple on camera, but they are really, really pretty. And the bees are all over them here at Home Depot. First time I've seen this plant here. This is called Campion Lipstick. It's a type of Lychnis. It's $10.98. It has a very beautiful dark foliage, and it looks like a red bloom. Look at this foliage. It's so unique. There's some feather reed grass avalanche, and what's really cool about this one, so the price is $16.98 and it's a 1.5 gallon. Let's check out the size and then I'll show you the foliage. It gets 3 to 5 in height and width, it looks like. Hardy to -20. And look, it's a variegated foliage, which is really pretty. They have some purple fountain grass, and something that I learned the hard way. Well, now they're labeled as annual, but in the past I'm pretty sure that these were labeled as perennial, and I would buy them for my garden and they would never make it through the winter, but they are beautiful in an annual container. 36 to 48 inches tall, and it says needs 15-inch spacing. These get really big, and what's great about using these in a container is that this will carry you through the fall, so it transitions beautifully from a summer container to a fall container. And these are $10.98, and they have a beautiful purple color on the blades of grass, and these plumes, like a fuzzy plume. They have some lily turf, also known as liriope. It says it's deer resistant, but these are not bunny resistant. Ask me how I know. I had a drift of these, and I love them because they look like carex, so they look like, you know, they provide a lot of texture with this grassy foliage. I like the variegation, and then they send out these purple flower spikes at the end of the summer. But I could never keep mine looking nice because bunnies would come through and eat them, and then they would always look like this. So something to be aware of. They are really pretty, offer a lot of texture, but they're bunny food. Some other maiden grasses. This one's called Little Zebra, Miscanthus, and this one gets to be .42 inches. It needs 24 to 36 inch spacing. And they're $10.98 in this Vigoro brand. And check it out, they have a clearance rack, and these quartz are $2.49. Looks like they have some dianthus and some other things here. Some of this stone crop blue spruce, some buggleweed, the chocolate chip ajuga. And look, some of this looks pretty good, and it's a ground cover, so plant it, it'll be fine. Somebody might have placed this here, but it's a snake plant. Pretty sure that's not $2.50. Let's move that for them before someone accidentally takes it to the register hoping it's clearance. They have some dianthus carpet. Not bad finds for $2.49. Some speedwell, waterberry blue, and that one gets 4 to 6 inches tall and wide, so it looks like it's a small growing perennial. Some dead nettle, so this is the spot to come and pick up your ground covers. Look, on the clearance rack, $2.49. This is a really cool stone crop called Fire Glow. And out in the parking lot they have some clearance. So here's the peonies that are now out of bloom. They were $24.98 and now they are $12.49. And this variety, Sarah Bernhardt, is amazing. It's my favorite in my garden. It's a herbaceous peony, so it does need some staking because the blooms are really heavy, but it smells, it's the best smelling peony that I have. It gets 36 to 39 inches in height and 36 to 48 inches in width. Not a bad price for $12.49. Nothing wrong with these other than they are done blooming, so they'll come back for you next year. And here are the Ito peonies. So these require less staking. They're a little bit more upright, and they are a cross between a tree peony and an herbaceous peony. And this yellow variety is called Barzella, and it's really popular, and it was $59.98 and now it's $29.99. So look at your stores if you're looking for any of these, because this is the time where they start marking things down. Some Scotch broom was $26.98. Now it is $13.49. This is a 3-gallon. This variety at my store is called Pomona. It looks like it's like an orangey yellow bloom. So this is the time to score things like this, is when they're just past their prime. Here's some Liriope. This one looks like it's $9.98, but if you buy 8 or more, which not bad, it's easy to do because if you want to create a drift, you save $1. This is the kind that I had, the Lily Turf Variegata, so it's the two-tone variegated foliage, yellow and green. These are nice compact grasses. I really like them if the rabbits didn't eat them in my yard. This is what the bloom looks like. This is the kind that I had, the Lily Turf Big Blue, but mine was variegated. But there it is. There's the bloom spikes. They're really pretty. They almost look like a salvia spike. 18 to 24 inches tall once those bloom spikes come up. Let's see what else they have. Blueberries, 2 for $5, and I saw another sign that was $7.50 a piece, which is basically the same. But you don't have to buy 2, you can just buy 1. And look, there's some 2 for $15. Yeah, not 2 for $5. 2 for $15. But look at that. There's already blueberries on that one. If you could keep them away from the birds, you might get some for your cereal. So these are half off. Manager special. So these aren't on clearance, but these are some boxwood. And if you watched my topiary, how to make a boxwood topiary video, I'll link it above. This one's a perfect candidate. Look at that stem. Single stem, nice and straight. This one is a winter gem boxwood, and these are $16.98. Some more of their evergreens, and as I'm scanning this one here catches my eye. Hinokis. Let's go check them out. These are the types of things that are a hidden gem when you come to these big box stores. These are the types of shrubs that at specialty nurseries would cost you a lot more than what you can buy them for here. This variety is called Hinoki Cypress Verdoni, and it gets to be 36 inches, so this is what they would consider a dwarf conifer. And look at this texture. Hinokis are beautiful for texture and form. They have a very free form. And I'm going to tell you how much these are. So here's another tag. It's the Hinoki Cypress Verdoni, and it is hardy to -30. You want to protect it from winter winds, and we get a lot of wind, so that would be important for me to take note of. The mature size is 3 to 8 tall and 36 wide. So this can be tucked in so many people's landscape, and it has a beautiful yellow color. And these are, check that out, $29.98. I'm willing to bet you would pay double or 3 times that at a specialty nursery. So these are the types of things I look for when I come to these box stores. These special and different conifers for box store prices. So here's something else that's cool. This is called a juniper gold cone, and it's an evergreen shrub, and it's also compact. It's 3 to 5 tall and 12 to 24 wide. And I think it's so important to have a bigger selection of these dwarf conifers because they can fit in so many people's landscape. Even if you have a large yard, you run out of room quick when you start planting. So these small shrubs are invaluable. Another really cool Hinoki. This one is called Crippsii. And this one gets 5 to 10 feet. But even just looking at this container now, it has such beautiful arching branches. Let's see how much this one is. This is a number 7 container and it's $49.98. Really good price for the size of this shrub, or you know, really it's like a tree. Look at this foliage. It's got green inside, and then where it's catching more sun it has yellow. Absolutely beautiful. Conifers are probably, and evergreens, probably my favorite component of a garden. Especially living in the Northeast, they offer so much year-round interest to your garden. This is really cool too. It's called a cowtail pine. Cowtail pine fastigiata. Fastigiata? Let me know in the comments if you how to pronounce it, if you know how to pronounce it. But what caught my eye is that it has foliage similar to an umbrella pine, which is a wish list tree for me at some point. But it has a very like columnar structure. It almost reminds me of like a U, the shape of it. Very upright and pointed, and has this shiny foliage. Almost looks like oriental lily foliage, right? With the new growth being a little bit yellow, you know, yellow color. Really cool. So let's see the specs on this one. So this one needs 6 to 8 feet spacing, and it's hardy to -10 degrees. You'll have one of these Hinoki Cypress Fern Spray Gold that I picked up the other day. This one gets 6, well here, see, you gotta pay attention to these, because right here it says it needs 6 to 12 feet height, and then space is 4 to 8. So let's go with, it gets about 6 to 12 feet tall and 4 to 8 wide. But look at that branch structure and color. Gorgeous. And this one is, I paid like $30 for it. Yep, $29.98. They have some Holly convexa, and these are like a pyramid shape holly. They are a 7-gallon size for $69.98. And let's see the specs on this one. It says it needs 48-inch spacing. This thing already looks like it's 4 feet, so yeah, looks like a holly tree, and it might get some berries. And I spotted this guy from across the way. This is a beautiful eastern redbud. This is a forest pansy redbud. It's a 7-gallon container, and it's $99. And look at this tree. The leaves on these things, a heart. And with this red color, it looks even more like a heart. Just beautiful. Here is the tag. It's an eastern redbud forest pansy variety. It has beautiful burgundy foliage. It gets 20 to 30 feet tall and wide. So a medium-sized tree. Really beautiful. This is a cool shrub. It's called Southern Arrowwood. It's a viburnum. It gets 4 to 6 feet tall and wide, and it blooms late spring to midsummer. And this is what the leaves and blooms look like. It's got like this serrated foliage, like almost like the double file viburnum, and really pretty little cluster of creamy white blooms. These are 3-gallon size for $24.98. Now, I'm pretty new to hosta, but they have this large cluster of hosta here in bright sun. So that would tell me that this variety that they're selling can take sun, because none of the leaves look scorched. Now, I can't be sure because I don't know how long these have been here. They could have just been put out today. But they're really pretty, green and white. Let's check out the variety. This is the ever popular Hosta Patriot. It's a clumping form, and it is 18 to 27 inches in height, and it needs 24 to 36 inch spacing. And how much are these containers? They're fairly large. $19.98. I have some bee balm in my garden, but I have a lower variety. It only gets maybe 12 to 18 inches, but these are really tall and beautiful. They smell so nice. I know I said that before when I saw the other bee balm, but look, the bees are all over it. And these are $19.98. They have this beautiful Chicago Hardy fig. It's so healthy looking. I'm going to show you guys the foliage, but it gets to be 6 feet tall, and I guess the maturity is summer through fall when you'll actually get fruit. I've had a fig tree for a couple of years now. I am yet to get a fig, but this is really a beautiful foliage type fruit tree. $29.98 on this fig, and it's a number 3 or 3-gallon container. Well, here's something new I've never seen here before. Autumn Fern Brilliance variety. It's a shade perennial, and this one gets a beautiful orangey color in the fall, and it's 8 to 24 inches in height and 8 to 24 inches wide. And here they are. Let's see how much these are. $19.98. Really good price for this, because you get a lot of fern for that kind of money. And these are easily divided. And they have some beautiful phlox. Look how vibrant that is. That is Proven Winners phlox. Let's go see the variety. Look at this, so vibrant. It's $24.98, 3-gallon size, and this is Opening Act Ultra Pink. Oh, ultra pink it is. Look at this. Really pretty. They have this really popular variety of salvia called Cardona or Cardana. It has a really pretty, like a plum-like purple, and it is 18 to 24 inches tall. And this one is also $19.98. They have these really big oak leaf hydrangeas. Look at the foliage on this. Look at my hand. It is huge. And some of them even have the panicles already for the bloom. And these are called Alice. Let's look at the tag here. Here it is. These have a lot of spots on them. They would definitely need to be cleaned up. That's probably just from the rain and from them being so close together out here. Doesn't allow for a lot of air circulation, so they tend to get those spots on them. So this one's called Oak Leaf Hydrangea Alice. And it needs 4 to 5 foot spacing, and it blooms in early summer. But the size of the foliage is certainly eye-catching. Here's another beautiful Proven Winners phlox. This one is called Luminary Opalescence. Luminary Opalescence. And it gets 30 to 32 inches tall, so very pretty tall garden phlox. They have some thread leaf coreopsis called Zagreb, and this one is $19.98 for a 3-gallon size. And look at this, what a pretty garden they have going on here. The yellow coreopsis, the pink phlox, the salvia, and the daisies. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one.